Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. And today I've got a really fun inky technique for you. And I'm using the pre-made note cards that are available from Stampin' Up. You get 20 in a pack, so 20 note cards and 20 envelopes. These are awesome. They're quite inexpensive. I've always got these in, and they're already cut, already scored, matching envelopes, you know they're going to fit. And what's good about these is that because they are note card size, if you're quite new to crafting, you know, creating a card can be daunting. So starting off with a smaller size is ideal, it's perfect. And also, you know, maybe you need to create things quickly, or you just want to send a note card rather than a big elaborate card. These are perfect. I always have them. The quality of the cardstock is good. They're not thin and flimsy. These are good. The quality of the envelopes is excellent. They're awesome. I love them. Can't get enough of them. I've always got them in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the new Celebration Country Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. Try and say all that when you've had a whisker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it. Now, I'm using Coastal Cabana, which is kind of subtle, and I'm going for a kind of an ombre look, and I'm going to emboss my note card. I do have a sample. I have tried it, so it does work. So here's your embossing folder. The front of it has the word Sizzix and a line and Stampin' Up. You know that that is the front. So you want to open it, and what we're inking is this panel here. This front, yeah. Yeah. Yes, we're inking this panel here with the writing on because that goes in, and this is the embossed out bit. Okay, so we're putting the ink on this bit, the back bit here. I had to think for a minute then. You know when you know you're right but you think you're wrong? Doesn't happen very often that I'm wrong, but every now I'm only kidding. So I'm using my braille, and you'll see that I'm just going in one direction to get the ink on, because if you go backwards and forwards you're just taking it back off again. So put the ink on and then do the same motion on the embossing folder. Just go in one direction. Okay. And this is quite a subtle colour, so it's not going to be, you know, a really vibrant, bright on the card. It's going to be subtle, and I'm going lighter towards the bottom on purpose to try and get, you know, an ombre kind of look. So I'm putting more on at the top, so I'm going heavier ink at the top. You can do this with different colours as well, so that you've got like almost like an ink blended look, or a rainbow look, or an ombre look. Just play, have a play. These brailles are awesome fun. Okay, I think I've got enough on there. You have to go over a few times with the brailles to make sure that you've got enough on, but what it does is it gives you a, you know, a gentle look. So then I'm putting my note card in, and I'm just putting the score line just in a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to shut the embossing folder, and I'm going to just run it through my Big Shot that way. So just look at that ink pad. I've got my embossing folder, my Big Shot just to one side, but I've got it on a sturdier desk, because if I put it on the desk with the camera, it will wobble. So just bear with me 1 second while I run this through my Big Shot. Okay. And because it is a textured, it's a thicker embossing folder than normal, you'll need to adjust your sandwich on your die cutting machine to allow for that extra thickness. And there we go, we've got quite a muted look. I've got it a bit heavier inked at the top. I could have added more ink, I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a really pretty look. I hope you can just see that. And we've got the ink heavier at the top and then it goes down and it's just very subtle in the background. But what I'm going to do just to make it look a little bit extra special, okay, I'm just going to dry that ink off first with my heat towel, just to make sure it's dry. Okay, and then because that embossing is so deep, it's such a deep emboss, what you can then do is you can go over it with, just rub over it with your Versamark ink, or dab it over, so that you're adding that Versamark to those raised parts. Okay, and then what I have a mixed tub, and this is clear embossing powder mixed with Dazzling Diamonds glitter, and I just mix it kind of by eye, but I would say 2 to 1. You want more embossing powder in it than glitter, otherwise it won't stick. Okay, but you know, you can experiment. There's no real precise measurement, but I would say, you know, 2 to 1 perhaps as a guideline, but there's no exact science. Some people may do it different. But yes, you do need more embossing powder than glitter, obviously, because you want it to heat and stick. So I'm going to just sprinkle that all over, and it's not going to be a big massive, you know, lighting up the room sparkle. It's going to be a subtle, elegant kind of a sparkle, and it's going to be just have a little twinkle to it, and it's also going to add a little bit of texture. When you feel the card, you'll feel that little bit of texture, and just a little bit of prettiness, but it will be very subtle, so it may well not pick up on camera, but if you try it at home, you will see what I mean. Okay, so let me just make sure I haven't got any embossing powder on there, and then I'm just going to heat set that. Okay. Doesn't take very long to set at all, and it just gives a little subtle sheen to all of that embossed pattern. Okay. There we go. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it is, can you see it glittering? I don't know if you can see that. I can see it here glittering. It looks really very pretty. I'm just very carefully just going over that with my, to just score it well. I don't want to flatten out my embossing. So now I'm going to add a small sentiment. That is a beautiful all over kind of subtle shimmer. It's very pretty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do some stamping because I want a sentiment. I've decided it's a birthday card, and so I'm using the Happy Birthday from the Very Vintage set simply because it's on my desk. I've been using it and I like the simplicity of this font. I think if you're doing something really kind of extravagant like this embossing folder, it needs a simple font. That's my opinion. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that, and then you can probably tell from where I've been practicing. I'm going to use the classic label punch and punch that out, and I'm keeping it pretty simple. Okay, and I'm using the same ink as I've used on the embossing folder, which is Coastal Cabana, and then I'm just going to get a small piece of Coastal Cabana card. This is a scrap, and I'm using the this one. It's a ribbon border punch, and I'm just going to punch a little bit out of this and just use a small amount just to add just a little hint of colour. Just snip that. Okay, so I'm just adding just a tiny bit. So I'm going to add it to the bottom of my sentiment. So let's have a look how much I need. So I need it from there. So I'm just going to follow the lines of the cutout, and I'm going to do the same around there. Just trim it around. Let me see if that's long enough, and it is. So now I'm just going to very gently add a tiny bit of glue on there. Tiny bit, she says, and then dabs it everywhere. Tiny bit of glue on there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Do I need to zoom in ever so slightly? I think I will. And then I'm going to very carefully add my sentiment, just so we've got that little bit of fancy there on the bottom of that. Okay, just make sure it's fairly straight. Right, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. I'm going to need mini dimensionals here, and I'm also going to use some of this metallic thread. I don't use it as often as maybe I should. It just adds a little delicate something, and you can just twist it round in loops around your fingers and then add it to your card. So I'm doing quite a few loops because it's very delicate and very thin. Okay, I think that'll do. Chop it off. Okay, just hold that a minute. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. And then when we've done this, we've not finished, because I'm also going to decorate the envelope very, very quickly to show you, you know, how you can have a really lovely card. And matching envelope. So I'm going to put my loops more or less there, I think. About there. Okay. And then I'm going to hold those loops down with my sentiment. I just want to move it down because I don't want it to be covering that rose. My loop's come undone now. Of course it has. Of course it has. I'm not too worried. Tuck it back under. Come on, you slippery little sucker. There we go. I've got control of my loops, and just press that onto there. Okay, give it a press. It will stick. And that is our complete card, which is absolutely lovely. It's just got that subtle, like I say, that subtle glimmer to it without being gaudy. Okay, let me just tuck that loop a bit further under there. There we go. So now we're moving on to our decorated envelope. Get rid of them bits. So I'm getting my envelope here. I know it's going to be the right size. I've got this twine stuck to me. It's everywhere. It's annoying me. It must have been a piece that I was playing with earlier. So I'm putting my envelope and I'm putting a piece of scrap paper inside the flap there. And then I'm bringing in my Coastal Cabana ink, and I've put this beautiful stamp on, which comes from the Painted Seasons. It is a celebration freebie. Celebration's coming to an end. Don't delay. Make sure you get those beautiful freebies. Get stocked up on what you need. We've only got the rest of this week and then they're gone. And this is absolutely divine. Let me show you this beautiful stamp. Look at that. Wow, just wow. It's beautiful. I need to make a standalone card with this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I've just misstamped a right little bit there, but it doesn't matter. Just add that there. Look at that shape. Oh my gosh, you love it. I still get excited at stamping. We're nearly 3 years. I will have been a demonstrated 3 years in June, and it still excites me. So there we have our beautiful happy birthday card, a matching envelope, and here is one I did make earlier. So I did try it, and that will fit in there perfectly. Okay, so you can make yourself a set of them, put them away, and you are good to go when you need a birthday card. I've got inky fingers now. So please do give that technique a try. It's awesome fun. You get different results every time that you try it. No two cards will be the same. And have some fun with those techniques. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.